All right. We are live. Happy Wednesday, guys. See, I already got 7 people in here, so should be sending out notifications soon. But here we are on another live stream on a Wednesday night. Going to be talking about Foxtoberfest. We will have a special guest a little bit later. But yeah, I kind of wanted to do this, kind of excited about it. So trying to fix the lighting, everything. I don't know. Best we can do, I guess, for now. But welcome to the channel. Second time we've done one of these. Last time we had Blue Oval Media on. Tonight we will have Chris from the Infamous Project joining us. So let's see. Making sure we're getting some people in here. Right now it says we've only got 2, which seems a little low. All right, 3. So hopefully YouTube is pushing this out. And yeah. Tim's in here. Hey, Tim, how's it going? I will tell Tiff you said hi. She is not here tonight. She has taken my 2 boys to basketball practice. They have basketball on Wednesday nights. So she will not be here. But yeah, we're going to talk a lot about Foxtoberfest. Chris will join here in a little bit. Probably wait till about 5 minutes after. So I just jumped up to 16. So I think the notifications are being sent out now. We got James in here. Says hello from where's that? Colmat, California, maybe? I don't know. Tiff is watching too, she says. What's up, Matt? A real Fox Body Addicts. Hey, man, good to see you. Did you make it down to Mustang Fest? Is anybody at Mustang Fest? We got like 18 people in here now. This is cool. Just jumping up here. Guys, you're joining in. If you hit the like button, I appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. We got Joe in here. We got Matt Plavidol, OG Superfly Garage. We got Bama 5.0. What's up, gentlemen? Says, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's having a great night tonight. Cash Flander, haven't seen you in a long time, man. Yeah, it has been a while. Go Blue Devils. No. We've got the Carolina gear tonight. So let's see. Oh, yeah, didn't make it down for that one. Okay, yeah. So I didn't go either, obviously. I didn't go to Mustang Fest. I went to Mustang Week, the last one. It sounds like there's going to be a Mustang Week next year as well. So we got that going. That's kind of big news. I don't know if you guys heard that. Also, before we get Tim in here, Tim's commenting. Before we get Chris in here, you guys may have seen that I posted I was not going to upload a video this Wednesday. Well, I just couldn't take it. So today, I did a little last minute editing today, and I got one out. And yeah, so the streak continues. Uploads every Wednesday for almost 4 years. September 26th will be 4 years whenever we pass that. So I'm keeping the streak going, keeping the streak alive. More Mustang Week? No, not really. I mean, I had 4 videos on the show, Shane, and then now I'm just doing car review videos. But anyway, so yeah, new video is up. Check it out if you haven't. Pretty excited about that. But wanting to do these live streams, I'm reaching out to other Fox Body YouTubers or people that do Fox content, getting them on here, getting their thoughts about Foxtoberfest, because we are only just a little over a month away. I think it's about 5 weeks or a month and 5 days, October 12th for Foxtoberfest, and September is a shorter month, right? 30 days, half September, April, June, and November, except for February, which says 28. That's how I remember it. I don't know how you guys do it. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. And I want to get some people talking about it, tell you guys a little bit. I know registration is only open until the 12th. So if you plan on coming to Foxtoberfest, you better go ahead and get registered if you don't have a spot already. All right. We got Drewski Hikes in here. What's up, man? Good to see you. You're still hiking off everywhere, I'm sure. All right. Well, I see we got Chris in here, or we had Chris in here. Looks like. Now he went away. So I'm going to wait till he comes back. But yeah, he just disappeared from the waiting room. So I'll bring him here in just a second. I know that he said he was having some storms roll through Texas. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, for anybody that doesn't know. And so, and yeah, Mrs. Gearhead watching remotely from basketball practice. So we got Tiff in here as well. But yeah, pretty excited. The latest video that went up today is actually a pretty awesome coupe. Very low mileage, less than 4,000 miles, and it was originally modified in the 90s in a magazine, no less. So check that one out if you haven't. We got MJI in here. What's up, man? Thanks for joining. The 50 boys from Illinois are still in the house, man. You guys are still watching, Jason? That's cool. That's pretty cool, man. All right. Crazy weather down south. Yeah, I know. I'm wondering, we got a little potential rain out here as well. So we had Chris in the waiting room. He disappeared. So we'll see if he jumps back in or not. If you have ideas for other YouTubers, Fox Body YouTubers you'd like to see in the live stream here, let me know. I just saw one of them I was going to reach out to, Castle Customs, Gary. So Gary, I hadn't reached out to you yet, but I'm going to try. So, maybe we can get you on next time if you're up for that. Have Chris can send you my my phone number, or he can send me yours or whatever. If you want to join, we'll be up for it. Okay, he said Chris is coming. We just finished the pod. Oh, okay. I thought you guys did the pod on Thursday. So, all right. And I just got a message from the Infamous Project, said they got to reboot his router. So apparently he was having some issues there. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the channel content this year. I know we've only been one video a week. So for the OGs, used to get 2 videos a week. Honestly, from what I've seen, the views on the channel are actually better with 1 video a week, with more content on car reviews and stuff. The videos have been a lot better. I just had my 3rd best month ever on YouTube. Pretty exciting for me. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. I did order a slew of parts for Nemesis. I put it up on my Instagram story. So I have about everything I need to jump on Nemesis. If you want to see that, come out Wednesday to Foxtoberfest, to the shop, Fox Resto. They're going to have an open house. Nemesis will be there. So if you're curious at all and you're coming to Foxtoberfest, check out Nemesis there at Fox Resto on Wednesday. It will not be at the actual show day. I will have Tar Heel there. And so just heads up on that. Let me see what's going on in the chat here as Chris is rebooting his router. We got War Admiral in the house. War Admiral 363, a celebrity in himself at this point. We call him Mr. 1100. But what happened to Kevin, the kid with the blue drop top? Well, that channel is still going, James. Channel name changed. The channel name is now, I'm trying to remember what it is. I think it's Fox Body TV. Yeah, I believe that's it. So you can get updates on his car there. Basically, it's been slow going, but he still has the car. He's still working on it. So if you remember that, you can definitely check that out. And let's see what else we got in here. Having Chris and Gary on separate just feels weird now. The boys are like Ernie and Bert. I know. They're always together. It's awesome. I love their podcast. I think it's doing really well. They both have great channels, great Fox Body channels. Both of them do a lot of how-tos. I know I've not done as many how-tos this year, so apologies for that. I know a lot of you guys liked it. View-wise, they didn't do so well for me, and this year I've kind of taken a break. I just wanted to focus on my projects and sort of get them done. All right, so we have Chris trying to join in here. Let me see if I can bring him in, if the internet will hold up. What's up, Barbecue Mike? Good to see you in the house. Chris,
all right. Can we hear me?
I can hear you, man.
Awesome. Sorry, man. It's the Texas weather, as they say, is bipolar. And we had like this crazy storm. I was literally just on a podcast with Castle Customs and Bob from Purist Motorsports. So be sure to check that out next Monday. But yeah, like 1/2-inch size hail. So I was like trying to should I be grabbing the lightning out, getting it in the shop for safe storage, and lightning knocking out the power. So lost internet, man. It was hectic, but hopefully everything keeps up here.
All right. Well, no worries. We know you'll do your best. These lives are always challenging, but hey, man, you should have the best internet now. Didn't you start out live streaming in like 2009? Don't you know the importance of internet?
The funny thing is, like back then, I literally had a Cat 5 cable run from my parents' house, all throughout the door, and it was strung out across the snowbanks into the shop, and the most archaic setup. And I swear the internet was more reliable back then than what it is now. Now I'm out in the country. It's actually, I'm better off tethering off a hotspot than I am actually with something that's supposed to be a fixed service. So whatever.
Yeah, I do feel like the internet was better about 10, 15 years ago. You know why? Because nobody was on it but us geeks. Now everybody has their smartphone and whatnot. So Are you streaming from the shop tonight? Or are you in the house?
I am. I'm in the office in the shop. So yeah,
Nice.
it's a little bit of stuff behind me. Actually, there you go. Real black door panel behind me and
Yeah.
t-shirt up there, trying to throw a logo in there because I don't have a picture on the wall.
Look at your official. Yeah, picture on the wall. Oh man, well, you know how we do it on here. Well, thanks for joining, man. Really appreciate it. It's been a while since we collabed. Want to get sort of, I guess we'll start out with some of your thoughts about Foxtoberfest, because I believe this will be your third one this year ever. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So first one was 2018, and then my second one, obviously due to logistics and then the world, wasn't until last year, which I got to say, from my first one to my second one was literally an exponential change in terms of an experience, which
Yeah,
without a doubt, it's like, yes, I'm going to the next one.
Yeah, it's funny because same thing we had Ken on previously from Louisville Media, and his first was also 2018, and he skipped 2019 as well, and then 2021 was the next one. He said the same thing. So
Right.
I'm kind of wondering, like, what happened with you guys? You planned to only go together?
You know what's funny is me and Ken don't talk enough, I think, or as much as we should, because even at 2018, we were next to each other in VIP, or he was like right behind me or something. Like we were real close, and we got along great. And it just kind of seems like, I don't know, what is that like when you get into like a pattern or whatever. Long story short, we get along great, and I wish, especially now that he's not really closer. I guess he's just more south since his big Chicago move down to Georgia. But yeah, shout out to Ken, great guy.
Yeah, he told a funny story about you. He said that you at the first Foxtoberfest, he tried to park his notch in amongst your 12 cars. He said you brought 12 Fox bodies to the show. Is that true? Is it 12?
That's just Ken embellishment or Ken's story. That's why I love him, because he's so extra, I guess.
How many was it you actually had at the 2018 show?
Man, I only had 2 cars there. Well, I had 2 cars and then my Lightning, which was not in the show, but that was sort of, call it the hauler. Well, actually I didn't haul. It was just kind of like what's that called when you have like the pace vehicle? Call it the pace car.
Yeah, pace car. Yeah. Cool. That's cool. Well, yeah. So basically, he said, going back to your first experience, for Ken, basically, he said no one really knew him. He hadn't started YouTube. He did get a VIP spot, and then 2021, it was completely different. He sort of got all kinds of people recognizing him, asking to do things. What was your experience like, that first time compared to 2021?
The first time was definitely, I guess, almost like an intimate show. Like I felt like it was a little bit more localized, and it was still a cool show, but it was, I don't even know how to put it, because I don't want to say
smaller, right? Like you're talking about 400 some Fox bodies versus over 700. I mean, that alone,
which is still really impressive to see. You know what I mean? Like to see 400 Fox bodies is really impressive. And you know what? I'd still be really impressed with any show that has that. And, we actually had a really good show up in Canada at the end of last year as well. That actually just caught me by surprise.
Yeah. You got
actually. Yeah, Paul and Sally, Paul DeFox, he got some pretty good coverage of that show. And you know what I mean? It's just an impressive to see. But then to go from that to what we saw last year was just something out of this world. Like in reality, even the Friday night at the hotel, although it's pretty cool as it doubled as a Halloween party, but it was like a car show in itself. You know what I mean? It was like, man, I'm here now. Do I even need to show up Saturday? But yeah, you still needed to show up Saturday because, I think what we're trying to hit, I think they wanted to hit 500, right? And I'm pretty sure there's probably almost 500 at the hotel that night. And then you show up the next day and it's like, oh man, where's the overflow? Like where can we stick these cars? And, me and Gary had Jen on a podcast, and, she was kind of explaining even as an event organizer of like, holy shit, like this is happening. Where do we stick these people?
Yeah, it was really, they kind of had to scramble. So that's why this year, talking about the new show now, going to be a little bit different. It's still going to be at the Speedway, but they're going to be on the other side near ZMAX, which has a lot more parking. So hopefully, if we break 700, it won't be as tight, right? So that's kind of the goal. We had more VIP spots this year too, and or at Foxtoberfest. So it's pretty exciting. One of the things I mentioned just before you got on is spots. So registration is closing September 12th, I believe. And then after that, you're going to have to, anybody that wants to join is going to have to pay the day of. You gave away a spot recently, right? On your channel though?
I did. So that was pretty much a week ago, I guess, somewhere around there. It's hard to keep up it's been a blur the past little while, I have to admit. But yeah, so gave away a paved spot and actually went to somebody we all know. Somebody who is extremely, what's the word? He's so humble and so chill. You know what I mean? And it was just, he had that whole, oh, I never win anything attitude.
Yeah.
And, albeit he was the second draw. The first draw, the individual couldn't make it, unfortunately. I hope that he can rearrange his schedule and he does find a way to come, because more Fox bodies better. But Mr. Lewis from Florida, who
he's been on my channel. He had his a coupe with a Dutch body kit that he brought down from Canada for Chocolate Fox.
Yep, exactly.
That's really cool. Well, so before we get into how you're going to make Foxtoberfest, because I do want to talk about that. I know you're going to do a little journey. We got to talk about that. Got a couple questions for you here. Let's see if we can hit one of them. Let's see. That one's pretty funny. Yeah, well, why not start with this one? Chris, will you and Gary be doing any fifth gear 5 km/h rolls on the highway heading to Foxtoberfest?
So like the bucking horse story, I'm sure is what he's referring to. You never know. So me and Gary do plan to try and be as organized about this journey. So we're going to actually label it the Detch 3000 for my love of the Gumball 3000 that I cannot afford to participate in. So we're like, you know what, we'll just make our own, which I think is going to be more than 3,000 miles when we do it. However, we're going to do some lives. We're going to try and get organized. We're going to come up with the official route. And we're hoping that there's some people along the way that either want to recommend things in the area, so we don't just end up going to chain places, because we're all about craft beer and good food and all that other stuff. So whatever we can do there and involve the community with.
Okay. Yeah. And so I guess to give a little context, you guys are doing the Woodward Dream Cruise together, right?
No. So we did that already. You missed
that. Already happened. All right. I'm behind.
So Gary wasn't there for that. That was in Detroit. What was that? A couple weekends ago, second weekend, I think, of August, which is a fabulous car cruise. Detroit, honestly, I just have to say it. If you have not been to Detroit, go. It's not just
really
an abandoned town that got bulldozed because everybody left. It does seem like that was what everybody was hearing, but we're talking, the foundation of American muscle. There's so much there. There's so many museums. Henry Ford. We went a little further out, hit up the Gilmore Museum, which is just an awesome, awesome place to go to. And the Dream Cruise itself, it's like whatever you thought couldn't be on the road, you'll see it on the road.
What did you bring a vehicle there?
I did not. However, indirectly, I reacquired the Blue Brother, the Celine clone Sonic Blue coupe.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And we were pretty much going up to get delivery of the car there. So that kind of worked out in our favor. So got to cruise that up and down the strip some, and obviously park it after too many beers and just watch the event.
Awesome. Well, what are you and Gary doing to get driving? I know you're going to Foxtoberfest together. So how's that going to work?
Yeah. So you might have seen we got this 250,000 mile Detch car, which is an 87 GT is how it started its life, got converted to a Detch, ended up getting endorsed by Detch because it was built after the fact. So it wasn't like a dealer purchased car or anything, but super clean. And Gary's got some amazing footage of a local car show of people trying to guess the mileage on this thing. Now, I haven't even seen it in person. It was just one of those ones. It's like, you know what? Pull the trigger on, hope for the best. And Gary was just like, you know, I know we throw the term mint around loosely, but he's like, this car is mint for the mileage. So given the fact it's got 250,000 miles, what's a couple thousand more to road trip this thing? So Gary's going to start from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm going to fly up to Seattle, and he's going to pick me up there. Mm-hmm. And we're driving from Seattle all the way to my place in Texas. That'll be a little bit of a resting point, if you will, with the vehicle. And then from there, we're going to do Texas all the way to the Speedway.
Wow. So I don't know if you could pull this off, but I think it would be awesome if you guys did daily vlogs of the entire trip. Daily uploads.
So we're trying to be organized and half-assed professional here. So Gary has procured himself a drone. So we want to get some drone footage. Cruising along, we want to try and find some cool spots for photo ops. And, you know, we'll try and do some sort of tracker so people can track and see where we are on the journey. And most importantly, yeah, we want to do some lives and some daily updates, vlogs, and, you know, social and all that other stuff. So we're going to have to try and juggle the platforms, as we know how that goes, right? Everything between, it'll most likely be limited to Instagram and YouTube, but we're going to do our best to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of work, right? As we know. I backed off this year, so it's easier for me to challenge you to do it because I know I would not do it.
Coming from the guy who said he wasn't going to upload a video today, and you still did it. It's funny how you say you're not going to, and then it's like all of a sudden you get like this creative spark. It's like, oh man, I can knock that out. Yeah. I'm going to get it up.
Yeah, it just happened. I even purposely went on Instagram saying I wasn't going to do it to try to force myself not to, and it didn't matter. I did it anyway. Well, if I was on the way for you guys, I would definitely say a stop, but I'm the destination. So
pretty much.
I live right by Foxtoberfest.
Hey, you're going to be there with the beers in hand, like welcome.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We're going to have let's see, Best in Show last year was a 4i. It was the first time it was a not an Aero coupe in a while, and so whoever wins Best in Show ends up on the beer cans. So you end up with that beautiful 4i that we saw last year under that tent.
Yeah, all the beer cans. Garage, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yep. Let's see. It's got some other comments coming in, but yeah, that sounds like an awesome time. So how long in total, like when are you flying out to Seattle? I know the show's on the 12th. So are you giving yourself like a couple weeks here, or what are you thinking?
Yeah. So I'm going to be flying up on October 4th, and we kind of start that leg from Seattle bright and early on the 5th. So I think we're going to try. Yeah, so we're giving ourselves 4 days to get to Texas. We're going to try and do it in 3, but you know, you really don't know what you might run into. At the end of the day, it's an old Fox body. Fingers crossed we don't run into issues, but you know, stuff happens, and we'll do a couple days in Texas, and then so our plan is to arrive on, I believe, the Tuesday before all of the Foxtoberfest festivities start, because there's stuff starting on Wednesday this year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So Wednesday is the open house. So I was just telling everybody, I think when you're a mid-router reboot, that if they want to see Nemesis this year, my coupe, my FHP, it will be at the open house, so you can see it on Wednesday. And then Thursday is Foxtoberfest, which is the YouTubers night. I guess I'm hosting. Yeah, I am hosting. But really, it's just all the YouTubers come out. I don't have to do much except show up, which I'm going to do anyway. And then, Friday is going to be the kickoff party. I believe it was announced there's going to be some I think a burnout contest on Thursday night. So
I heard that.
I believe that's official. So I'll be honest, I haven't kept up as much with Jen and Matt as I like when you were giving away a spot. I had no idea because I've just been taking it easy this year, man. I think everybody knows I haven't been as into things as in the past, but yeah, so that's exciting. And then Friday is going to be the kickoff party. Like you mentioned, last year we had over 500 boxes. It felt like there last year at the hotel, and that's going to be awesome. And then of course Saturday's a show day, so there's a lot going on. But I think definitely Wednesdays show up. I can't imagine how many people are going to descend upon Fox Mustang Restoration. And I don't think that you ever saw my coupe in person either. So I think
no. So I missed the open house last year. So my goal this year is to try and make all of the events. The one that I think I'm most interested in is, I want to say it's on Friday. Jen said something about a scenic tour to Scenic Lookout. Yeah. But then we stop at a jail converted to distillery. Is that correct? Or did you hear about that?
I do know about I think it's going up to Mora Mountain. No, I did not realize the jail conversion. So that part I may have missed. But we've gone to Mora Mountain before, and it's a great drive. You don't think of Charlotte having mountains in them, which it's not a real mountain, but you could go up in a loop. And I did a video on it. I think we did it for National Mustang Day. So anybody curious of what that looks like, check out my video on that. But yeah, that's a great little trip.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And then the one interesting thing too is I got to kind of plan what's going to happen after the show, because the Dutch number 5 car, the one that I restored on my channel, so that one's coming down, and then ultimately that one will be staying at the Mustang Owners Museum. So I got to get with them and figure out what all happens in terms of putting a car in a museum.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I know they rotate cars in and out there every few months or so. So you're going to get a little stay there, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. They need more Foxes in there. They did recently expand the museum. So I know you saw it last year. And they knocked out a whole other side, and they've got more cars now. So that's pretty exciting. How many cars are you bringing this year? Obviously, you guys are driving the one. Is that it? Or what are you doing, man? What are you up to?
So, so the 250,000 Dutch is coming, because obviously that's how we're getting there.
Right.
The Dutch number 5 car will come. So I'm getting that, all the logistics around that organized. And then I actually bought another car that's really interesting that I plan on having at the show as well, which is technically the Dutch number 9 car that I found ironically out of Vancouver as well. So the owner of that car reached out to me 4 or 5 years ago and was teasing me like with the most random, crappiest pictures, like almost photos of photos, and like, oh, maybe I'll sell this, and finally we came to an agreement. So I bought this car. So far it's been shipped from Vancouver to Toronto. So my end goal is to get the number 5 car to Toronto, and then both those cars sent down to the show. And the cool thing about this number 9 car is it has 12,000 original miles on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't realize it was that low. Well, any of these in VIP? Did you get a VIP spots this year? Or no, you're probably in the YouTuber section.
Yeah. So I got myself this, I guess, influencer spot. I don't know where it is. I'm waiting for Sam.
I've seen the map. It's good. It's a good spot. I've seen the map. That I have seen.
So yeah, no, I'm excited. So I'll be over there. I do have one VIP spot as well, because technically I got three cars potentially coming. So I wanted to secure all that. The Stalker vert, it needs to go to a show.
I'm going to tell you, look, here's another one too. These guys want to see it. I want to see it. It's never been to Foxtoberfest. Come on, it's your brand. Look at the thumbnail of this video, Chris. It's you and the Stalker vert.
I know, and I got to say, I can't believe you caught me with the top down. I was trying to never be seen. Like me in the car with the top down, and you actually caught caught that caption, which right now, if it looks like I'm a little distracted, I'm actually trying to get a YouTube story up so that people can check out the live here. And I just look at it and I got this smirk on my face, that's just, I don't even know what I'm thinking. I'm probably laughing because I know you're taking the picture and I'm like, this guy actually managed to get me to get the top down. But
look at this love coming in for the Stalker vert, man. So that's for my wife. So
you know what? I've thought about it. It's just logistics are so challenging. Like you literally, like I think even if you had the car trailer that went flat on the ground, I think you'd still need boards. Well, you saw it in person.
Yeah, it's static. I mean, it's just,
so like to even get it in my garage, that little bit of a lip,
it could get pretty torn up, honestly.
Yeah. So I think ultimately, I'd have to crank up the coilovers, get it transported, and crank them back down. Is probably the way that it would have to go.
Yeah. Do you know who the 5.0 boys from Illinois are?
Yes.
Yeah. See, there you go. They were asking. So, yes, I think it's so iconic, right, for your brand. But I get it. I did see it in person, but I did catch you with the top down.
Well, you know what? We went for a cruise together, and I don't even think you shared that footage. Or I don't know. Did you even have the GoPro?
I did not have the GoPro. I think I took a little bit of video on my phone, but I don't know if I put it up. So, and I never used that picture until today. And I was just looking for something good, and I'm like, this is a good one. Who wants to spank this?
No, and you know what? I did give the Stalker vert a little bit of attention, well-deserved attention, because I was having a few issues with it. So technically speaking, it is in a drivable state now. So there we go. What's a Stalker vert?
Yeah. Well, take a look at the thumbnail of this video.
Yeah, or just check the hashtag. I think there's enough hashtags on Instagram that car will pull up. But yeah, it is in reality. It's almost my identity, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's iconic, right? It's probably maybe a similar comparison is my car, Tar Heel Fox, right? Everybody's going to know that's my car, Stalker vert. Everybody's going to know it's yours. So I think you did this once though, because you brought last year to Foxtoberfest. You brought the Dutch Coupe. Does it have another name?
Well, technically, I labeled it the Tip Dutch Coupe.
Tip Dutch Coupe. That's right.
Yeah.
So you brought the Tip Dutch Coupe, and what do you think you get? Because that one gets a lot of notice too. Is it kind of 50-50, or what do you think between those two, that and the Stalker vert?
Yeah, it's a good question. The thing is that the Stalker vert has sort of that foundation and everything, I guess the buildup of it. So anybody who's kind of like a long-term Fox body enthusiast almost knows the car, from all the forums and everything back in the day.
Yeah.
Where I think it still makes a pretty good statement today when you see the photo. However, I want to say that, the silver coupe, I think for its freshness on the scene, it'd be an interesting tally to see. Like, I think
you should put a poll up on your, I'd be interested in that. Actually, I just checked and I just found the link. So people really don't know. I'm going to plug myself here. Well, let's see if it'll put up. Yeah. I just put a link in the chat I did a video on this car, and I just checked, Chris, and it has like 12,000 views now. So there we go. It's
nice. That's a good one.
Yeah. So check that out.
So was that which video? Because you did like a mini documentary or mini series.
I did. Yeah.
Of my garage. So which one actually performed the best?
Oh, actually, that's a good question. Yeah, I'd have to look at them. It might be this one. It was no, I know it is. Well, so we can't count that one. We're talking about at your place in December or January rather, because I was going to say it's the Tip Dutch Coupe that would that one has over it's over 20,000 views or something like that.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, but of the one we did, it may be. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It may be the Stalker vert. Let's see. It's certainly not the 86. By the way, what's the deal on the 86? Is it going up for sale anytime soon?
It is. So I'm waiting for kind of a full detail spot to come available, so that I can get, the body looking right. I got to get PDR done to that driver's side door, just kind of get as much of the little things out of the way to make it ready for ultimately auction. I did say I was going to throw that one on Bring a Trailer.
Yeah, still bring a trailer, right?
I think I'm still going to do that, unless, I don't know. I got to think about it. I'm not even going to lie to you, man. Like, I feel like the past 2 months specifically, I've just almost been overwhelmed. Like, it's like right when you feel like it's like everything happening in threes. It's like, nonstop, go, go, go. And now we got Foxtoberfest coming around the corner.
Yep.
And, I got the gentleman that I found. Well, I didn't find. Somebody else found and passed the details along. So thank you again to that individual. But, this haven or true corral of Fox bodies.
Yeah.
And so now he's wanting to try and sell stuff. So, he dropped off that 93 Cobra that I just did the video on. And he actually just dropped off this morning an 82 coupe, original 5.0 4-speed.
What?
Manual, like with the original little, metal tag with the VIN, the $1,000 receipt deposit to the dealer, insurance paperwork from new. It's still got like the original TRX Michelin's on it. Now, this car's been sitting for a long time, hasn't run in probably 20 years. And it's a time capsule. So that one's actually gonna be coming up for sale too. So now I've got all these other cars and I'm trying to help him move and do all these things. Oh, look at this, Tom. I love it. You know what? I think that's my biggest goal this year at Foxtoberfest is like everything's going to be Dutch. As much as I can promote, give information, all that. And I think with these two cars, one with so low miles, one that higher miles, it's been restored because they're the exact same. So they're both 88s. They're both from the same, sequence of cars that were built. They're both white hatchbacks with black door moldings with gray interiors. So it's going to be really interesting to compare the two cars.
Definitely. I think, well, who knows? I'm trying to look for video content, so maybe we can work out something there. That's cool. Yeah, and to answer your other question, that trip ended up being pretty good. It looks like the most popular video was the Stalker vert, the kind of sort of tour of your garage there that we did. That has not far behind almost 11,000. That was the one with the Lincoln in it, which,
all right.
Yeah, if Foxtoberfest was an all Ford show, that would be my next boat, a vehicle of yours to get out there. I love that project there that you got going.
Yeah, I need to get on that. I think initially I was hoping to have something, at least from a drivetrain perspective. Well, I know what drivetrain's going in it, but
yeah,
I was hoping to actually maybe have something running and driving by the end of this year. The reality is I'm going to push myself a full year on that. And the reason for it simply being that the whole Godzilla side of the business has actually taken up quite a bit of time.
Okay. Yeah, you said you've been very busy. I was wondering if that was part of it. So
yeah, so doing that ramp truck, I got an excursion. There's a lot of stuff that, as you know, doesn't always get shared with YouTube. Because it's just impossible. It's like, especially when you're doing stuff for the first time. I think it is important to kind of show some of the challenges and everything that you're going through, because we all learn. We're not all perfect, but at the same time, it's like when you're trying to concentrate and get stuff done, it can be challenging to have the camera there. Ideally, again, YouTube needs to pay us more. And,
nice.
I need to be able to pay somebody to hold the camera and do the editing. If that could be done, I would have daily content available.
Yeah, it's a job. At least at our level, right? It's a job that doesn't pay very well. McDonald's pays better, to be honest.
McDonald's pays real good right now. I don't know. Over here in Texas, man, you can work McDonald's, Whataburger, you name it, for like $16, $17 an hour.
Yeah, that's better than I'm doing here on YouTube. But partially we do it, and that's, if anybody wants, this is like a quick like side conversation here. Oh, which way my hands are going. The reason why I sort of backed off of my content this year is because when it's sort of forced, it doesn't feel as natural, right? And so I wanted to continue doing it, but I was like, if I'm going to continue doing this, I need to go to once a week so that I'm actually, it's fun because it's a hobby, for me. For you, it's a little different. It's a little tied up in your current business, but that's very cool.
And we all go through phases, right? Like, I feel like we have more creative, I guess, vibes at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like right now I've been going through a time where it's like, man, like I'm coming up, I'm getting content every single day on a daily basis. I'm almost ahead of the schedule, and then there's those other times like you felt, I guess, a couple of days ago before you knocked out a video anyways for today, that you're just like, you're not feeling it, or, you got content, you just don't feel like maybe it's worth sharing.
Yeah, I have a lot actually.
Yeah, or sometimes you almost feel like you're being repetitive, and that was kind of, even with the Stalker vert, or actually the Celine clone was a perfect example. I had a lot of content to that video that I did back in 2018, and then to get the car back, it was like, you know what, my channel went back then is when I was trying to get 1,000 subs, so like, unless everybody that started subscribing went back in time and watched those videos, they're not going to know. And it's like some of the people now that are tuning in, like, well, what's the Stalker vert? Right. So, we're our own worst critics. And I think, when we get comments or whatever feedback through any social media, or, sometimes it's a text or an email or whatever it might be, the encouraging words they're important as an influencer, you know what I mean? Because it does truly motivate, or it makes you remember, like, oh, okay, yeah, no, we don't know, or go into more detail about that. Hi, Sally.
Yeah, hey, Sally, thanks for joining. Yeah, hopefully her and Paul are making Foxtoberfest. I don't know though. I haven't talked to them. Do you know if they're coming, or are they going to?
We had when I say we, myself and Kazel, we had them on a pod, and my understanding was they might not be making it. I feel like the end of this year, there's Paul there. Guys, you need to clarify if you're coming to Foxtoberfest. I believe there was scheduling / vacation, whatever, but I can't stress enough. Like, you could shotgun it. You leave Thursday, there Friday, leave Saturday, back Sunday. You could do it. It's not that far.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely vote for it. They almost came to Chocolate Fox, which, speaking of Chocolate Fox, the other show ran by Fox Resto, Matt and Jen, besides Foxtoberfest, that I know you came up for that. This last time I saw you, that was a lot of fun. That might have been my favorite video collab I've ever done, where you got this shirt, you're like, is this a Man Blue shirt, Chris? Dude, I reused that clip, and it was just great because I fully expected a lot of hate on that video, and I actually got some. I really did. I got some of, people had no idea what the channel was, and they're like, yes, that is a girl color. And I'm like, I didn't realize that colors had genders.
Right. Well, we will not open up that topic of discussion on this live today, but I have to agree with you, man. That was just a blast. It's sometimes the most random, unplanned footage.
You didn't plan that at all.
Is honestly, it's just the best. Honestly, and there's so many times that I'm sure you've run into this. It's like you're gonna go and just kind of like rehearse, or just kind of meet the person before you actually start filming, and then you're like, man, I should have the GoPro rolling.
And
you know what? So many times. Who was awesome to talk with when you were doing Italian Stallions feature video after Foxtoberfest last year, which he sold that car. I was very surprised to see, but man, did he get good money for it. So congrats.
36.5 or something, I think.
Yeah, for a GT. I said GTs were coming up, but that's not the point. His dad, and I think you told me, you gave me like a little insight, like his dad was like an OG in the scene. And so while you were filming that whole thing, I was chatting with his dad the whole time, talking about all this old school street racing, how he got him into the scene and all this stuff. And I'm like, damn it, I wish I had a GoPro on.
Right? Yeah, I thought his dad would have made the perfect video with all, because I got to talk to him too. And it's, and that's kind of stuff sometimes you just didn't have to enjoy in the moment and remember. And so Paul said, they can't make it this year. So we'll miss you, Paul and Sally, but don't worry. I'm pretty sure there'll be a Foxtoberfest 2023. So hopefully we can get you out that one.
Absolutely. In fact, the show that I was talking about that happened in Toronto, more specifically Mississauga, at the end of last year that Paul and Sally covered, I just got a message or an invite that show is going on again, I believe at the end of September. So hopefully Paul and Sally, you guys can cover that show. I say hopefully you can cover it, but hopefully you get some time to breathe at the same time, because that was the problem. It was so overwhelming that unfortunately we didn't even get to connect. And, I think that's going to happen again. So Matt, I think we do need to try and like set some time aside, because we run into it even outside of the show thing. Yeah. So I guess that's something that should be said for anybody out there that's going to go to the show. If you feel like you're planning or hoping to meet up with somebody at the show, I would highly recommend that you find time to meet up with them, or schedule a time during the show hours, or find a way outside or at one of the other events to catch up with them, just because it is that overwhelming.
Yeah, and the show's that big. I completely agree with you.
Yeah. And I do want to say too, for both me and Matt, me and Gary from Castle, we're just saying it. If you're going to the show and you do want to talk to one of us or see us, obviously we're going to be at most of these events, but never feel shy or never feel like you're a burden. Please, by all means,
I agree.
Walk up, say, hey, tap me on the shoulder or whatever it might be. I'm going to do, my best to, be accessible to everyone. Cause I always get after the fact, like, oh, I didn't actually, Bob from Purist Motorsports just said it on the pod we were recording. It's like, oh yeah, I wanted to come up to you, but you look busy, or, I didn't want to be that guy.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that.
That's why we're doing it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I think that's why some people are a little bit more outgoing. Bob's outgoing. I'm not using him as an example, and so they don't mind interrupting. But one of the things Jen is doing this year is she set up the Foxy Lounge. I'm pretty sure you have a spot at some point in there. I know I do, and so it's meant to be 30 minutes of dedicated time where people can feel like they can come in and actually talk to us, and we're going to be there. So during that time, I'm putting down the camera. I'm not trying to get any footage, which I admired with you at Chocolate Fox. You actually really just enjoyed the show. You didn't try to go get footage, and I really like that. And so, but to echo what Chris will say, if you see us in the show, go ahead, interrupt us. It's fine. If we're busy, I know at least if I'm busy, I'll say, hey, can you give me a minute? And then I'll come back. But if you're not comfortable with that, get a ticket to the Foxy Lounge and we'll have a spot in there. And that's what that's for too. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Foxy Lounge sounds so, I don't know, so foxy,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I know, right? It's like, lounge. I don't know. It almost sounds like a nightclub vibe.
Yeah.
Gearhead 704 after dark.
I think any women who go into the Foxy Lounge should wear a foxtail.
I don't know any women that have ever worn a foxtail at any Foxtoberfest event. All right, Tiffany, you're in the chat. You did do that last year with the costume contest, because there was a costume contest Friday night. Yeah. I wonder if there's probably one again this year. I'm not sure if they brought that back, to be honest.
I'm not sure, because we're a couple of weeks ahead of Halloween this year, right? Yeah. So maybe not. And Halloween, honestly, is my favorite holiday of the year. So I'm very excited that I will be home Actually, it'll be our first Halloween here on this property. So we're gonna have to go hit up, the
That's right.
stores and start getting in theme here. So the one thing, I'm getting autographs.
Yeah, I want to ask. Can we ask Mr. 1100 for his autograph?
Yeah, man, I'm getting his autograph.
Right? That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want he's a celebrity, so awesome. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So I'm pretty excited about the show. Yeah, definitely glad you're coming out. And yeah, I don't think we'll probably see much of each other at the show. So we'll have to schedule up something outside of that. But yeah, it says 3 cars this year, and you had 2 the first year and 1 last year. So
Yeah,
the next year means you have to do 4. 4's next.
well, there you go. I think next year might be like, I don't know. And I've been actually having a couple conversations about this because I'm almost bordering between vendor versus influencer, right? So by next year, I'm sure there'll be some Godzilla swapped Foxes coming out of the woodwork, plus more on the Dutch side of things.
Can't wait to see that.
I don't know how that'll go. So we'll have to see. Mr. Brutal.
Yeah, we got Brutal. And actually, so I reached out to a lot of Fox Body influencers to see who was coming to Foxtoberfest who would participate. And just so everybody knows, I did reach out to Brutal, and he was happy to participate if he could, but he's actually not going to be at Foxtoberfest this year.
Too bad. Is he coming to, because he did the LMR cruise-in last year, so I'd be curious to know. In fact, I was actually trying to stop by his place, and sort of my bad. I was saying this about Ken. I'll say it about Brutal as well, that it is really hard and challenging to stay in touch, and it's weird, right? Because it seems like this year has just flown by. Like when I see you, Matt, well, I guess I saw you at Foxtober or at Chocolate Fox, but seeing you again at Foxtoberfest, it's going to be like, man, has a year gone by already? But I was trying to, because after Foxtoberfest last year, I drove down to Florida, then from Florida across to Texas, and I was actually trying to stop into Alabama to see if I could, roll up surprisingly to Casa Brutal there, but we'll have to make that work one way or another.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about Brutal is that, and you can comment if you disagree, Nakia, but he's always done a great job of collaborating and shouting out anybody, any channels, right? I remember even when she started the channel, Boomerang Staying Jess, and she kind of stopped it now. He talked about her channel. So it's one of the things I really like, is he's great at doing that. Yeah, he is working. So I'll just call that out. That's why he can't make it. Brutal is a regular job. So
you know what? Maybe me and Gary, if your schedule is okay, we'll take this offline, but I'll throw this out here now. If our cruise from Texas to Concord allows, we can take the southern route and maybe catch up. So I think it'd be cool. I would just like to, you know what I mean? We never met in person, and I always love influencers doing collabs and all that stuff, because we have tried to do it. I think that's another thing that's important is, we all get along, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the Fox community is it's not like some of the other, and I mentioned this last time I did this live stream, some of the other YouTubers out there doing just general Mustang content, S550s, even Derek Barron, when I met him last year, said this, they're more compete, or all the Fox guys, from what I've seen, we all just sort of collaborate, right? It's not about that. It's about getting people excited about these cars that we love. So yeah, that's great. And no worries, you can't make it, Brutal, but hopefully you guys can work out that collab. It'd be awesome to see a Tip Castle Customs Brutal collaboration there. If nothing else, bring Andrew some food. I know he's always hungry. But well, cool. Well, Chris, what are the last things sort of wrapping up here? I know we're getting to the top of the hour. What thing are you looking forward to most about the Foxtoberfest this year, the show? What one?
Man, honestly, it's just going to be the whole experience. And I don't know. I'm sure some people can resonate with this. It's that sometimes you kind of make things out to be potentially better than they could be in your mind. And or you don't appreciate when you're already in the moment. You know what I mean? And it takes until after things have happened to really kind of reflect and be like, man, like I made it happen or I did this. And I feel like me and Kazel will be in such a fog from all of that driving. And then we're finally going to realize that we're there. So I'm hopeful that we get to take a step back and appreciate everything that's going to happen. But like, there's so much cool stuff happening, and I think just even from the Infamous Project's perspective, in itself, and more awareness, more collaboration, more networking, more meeting with people. You know, I'm so excited. Like, it is honestly the most important week of the year for me, as far as TIP is concerned. So I'm excited for all of it, and I hope I can take it all in and I don't get burnt out, because the following weekend's the LMR cruise in. I believe there's another event. It's slipping my mind. There's something about Celine's in San Antonio or something that I think is coming up. Oh, there we go. We got Caleb.
Yep.
And,
the house, Foxcast.
And then SEMA. You know what I mean? So I'm all, I got all the travels, everything for SEMA, and then I did the right thing. I made like an actual vacation, non-automotive related, to the Grand Canyon and to Arizona after SEMA, and it'll just sort of be like the decompression, and the missus take her out, because unfortunately her birthday falls right in the middle of all this stuff. So her birthday usually ends up, hey honey, you're gonna see 1,000 fox bodies over the course of weeks.
You need to do something about that, Chris, if you want to keep getting fox parts without the guilt.
So yeah, no, it'll be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. LMR cruising, I'll be there. It's pretty much up the road, right? So I'll probably, the nice thing is the Lightning is involved with the cruise-in. So it'll probably be the white one. The silver one won't be ready in time. But I'll probably tow. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should tow the Stalker Vert to the cruise-in.
There you go. Want to see the Stalker Vert go out to the LMR cruise-in.
But a white Dutch coupe behind a white Lightning would look pretty hot. But oh, there we go.
Yeah. So if you want to see Brutal, he'll be at that one. I'm sure. I'm guessing Caleb will be there. I don't want to speak for him though, but if he is, let me know. I'll put it up on the screen. But yeah, that's gonna be awesome. And then Foxtoberfest, for me, it's just the worst thing is I'm gonna be working all week. So
so do not miss a podcast or an opportunity for whatever that meeting was.
I did last year.
I know you were like, oh no, man, I gotta work when we did that pod, and then you were like,
yeah,
oh,
I was the only influencer I think that missed the Mustang Owners Museum podcast, and that ended up being one of the best highlights of the trip for you last year, I believe.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that one. It was great to get a bunch of us, around a table. I think that needs to happen more in reality.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they'll do it again this year. If they do, I'll find a way to make it, even if I have to bring my work laptop. So, no, that's awesome, though. Really looking forward to you coming. Really appreciate you joining. I just think I want everybody watching. We were trying to get to 1,000. I mean, Jen says it all the time. They just set up the show. Everyone else has to bring the cars. They can only bring one or two, I think. So bring all your foxes that you can. 1,000 would be amazing, but even crossing what we did last year would be
driving or not, right? Because there's the whole what's that category called?
Project car category.
Project category, yes.
Yeah, that's going to be wild. So yeah, they don't have to be driving.
I could put that, bring that 93. I think that 93 Cobra I just posted up, I think that's going to be gone. It might actually already be gone, but okay. I think it definitely will be. But yeah, no, I could, man, if logistics weren't so expensive, trust me, I'd bring them all if I could.
Look at that. I was speaking of Nemesis earlier. We got Hanlon Motorsports in the house.
Nice.
I got my Tremec 3650 from him. So if you want to see the transmission, it'll be there at the shop on Wednesday.
he will know the answer to this because Gary asked me. So I just got in my driveway, you'll see the video, this 82 coupe 5.0 car with the 4-speed. So what is that transmission called? Because it wouldn't be a T5. Like, is it a T4?
Should be the S-Rod, right? Single rail overdrive, 4-speed. I think it is.
No, it's manual.
Yeah, it's a manual.
Right.
They called it single rail overdrive, though. I believe the 4-speeds were S-Rods because I just recently did a review of an 83. So, yeah, they didn't go to the T5 until mid-83, I believe, somewhere in there.
I thought 83 did have 5 speeds and all of them.
It's a mix of 5 and 4, I believe.
Huh.
So
some OG of authority, I'm sure will.
Yeah, they're all saying S-Rod, so at least I'm right on that part. S-Rod from Hanlon, S-Rod from Chet.
Oh, there we go.
But hey, I actually knew something once, Chris. What's going on?
Man, that's pushing back some years. Actually, so funny enough, my very first Fox body was an 83 GT that had the drivetrain out of an 82 GT in it. And so it had a 4-speed. So my 83 had a 4-speed, but it wasn't because what you're saying. It's just because it got donated from a donor car that was an 82.
Yeah. So I actually have a video coming on my channel soon about an 83. That's the only reason I knew some of this stuff.
Right.
The owner knew all about it. So look for that. But yeah, now they can watch 2 videos this week. They can watch this live and watch the one I came up with yesterday. But yeah, no, really excited. Oh, last thing I want to ask you, podcast. You started the podcast venture this year.
Yes.
How has that been for you? What's been the results of that?
The podcast, it's been great. And I think the number one reason why it's great is because we don't need to be switched on in front of the camera. Like we do have video, much like we're looking at right now, when we do the pod. So that way we can see facial expressions or whatever, pointed stuff, give each other the finger. But that's part of the beauty of it, not being switched on and not being filtered. It is literally just like garage talk, which is absolutely amazing. So it's, I did have the same intention as you to drop down to 1 video a week. I'm like, I'll do the pod and 1 video a week, and that'll be a real nice balance. And I've just been pushing myself to do 2 still. Yeah. And you know what? And I'm sure you get this as any influencer who's tuned in right now. The more editing you do, the quicker you get about it. And the more filming that you do, I think the more focused and efficient you are about it. My biggest challenge is when I'm doing larger projects and again, stuff for the first time, you're going through files, you got to try and remember what minute mark you messed up or, that you were actually doing something worth sharing. So yeah, the pod's been good and we'll keep going with it for sure.
Awesome. Are you going to be doing any podcasting live at the show, you think? Foxtoberfest?
I don't know if we will. I think our number one priority is the vlogging of the trip. So we're going to call it the Detch 3000, as I said. So that'll be a hashtag. So for anybody listening now, hashtag Detch 3000 is going to be the handle. We're actually thinking about like if we can get some stickers on the back window of the car or something. So that way we can get like whatever people driving the soccer mom van and they see us and they want to take a rolling shot and post it up. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's see that. And you just reminded me of something else. We should have mentioned this at the beginning. First, I did see your car there in 2018 because I was a YouTuber then, but not really. I had like 30 subscribers, and I remember I just met Caleb for the first time, and he's been doing it for a little while. And we walked by your car, and I was like, "What is this Detch thing here?" And he's like, "Man, you never heard of Detch? They go way back. These are awesome." So yeah, that was that's how I first saw your car.
Yeah, no, I gotta say, no. Shout out to Caleb again. Like he is very knowledgeable with the Detch guys, and when he first started his channel, we were actually in touch quite a bit. I was still in the Middle East in Dubai. Thanks, Brutal, for the comment.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And I actually, at one point, I was trying to actually get Caleb involved with the number 5 car, but he was so busy with the startup of his channel and everything else. And yeah, no, we get it, right? Like, it's timing's everything, and we all need more time.
Yeah, for sure. There we go. He remembered the video. Yeah, I think I called that meeting my YouTube hero, which is very true. So for anybody that doesn't know, there are 2 main channels that I watched to start my channel, and Caleb was one of them, Foxcast Media. The other one's a Corvette channel, so I won't mention it. If you know what the other channel is, come to me at Foxtoberfest, and the first one that tells me, I will give them one of my shirts, if you know what the other channel is. But anyway.
So are you going to have the normal swag, or do you got a new design for this year?
I've got the Nemesis shirts that you saw at Chocolate Fox, and I'm thinking about doing a reprint of them. They about sold out. So we'll see. I'm either going to do that or something new, but I'll probably do that because my creative brain can't come up with much more for this year. So, but no, I appreciate it. Yeah, brutal put it in there, but I'm not going to say it out loud. You have to come to Foxtoberfest to me, come up to me and say it. And if you do and you get it right, because he did not have the name completely right, but I know who he means. Right. And I will give you one of my T-shirts. Awesome. Anything else more you want to say about Foxtoberfest, Chris?
I just say that if anybody's thinking about it or saying, oh, I'm just going to go next year. Well, we all know how that goes. It's sort of like saying, I'm going to get my car on the road next year. So I'm just going to challenge everybody and anybody that it is honestly, it's worth the time. It's worth the investment. It's worth the days off. Like, even if you're just coming out for Saturday, because I get it. Like, not everybody can take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, travel between all those days just to be able to make a car show. But even if you can just come, and maybe that's the important thing, is to say, even if you can just make a weekday event and you can't make Saturday, it's still worth doing.
I agree.
Like, between the open house, and you can go like between the Mustang Owner Museum, the open house from Fox Resto, everything else, all the other events, the distillery former jail, like, who doesn't want to go there? Just saying.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, so come anytime. I agree with that. I put it up earlier. We are going to try to bring, because we're trying to go to 1K. So even if you have to, I wish you could rent a Fox body. I don't know if you could do that anymore. I don't know if the insurance would be on that.
Everybody put trailer hitches on your Fox and tow your project behind the driver. There you go.
There you go. Maybe I should get Nemesis there to the show. We'll see. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining, Chris. Thanks for everybody being in the chat. We've had about 50 people the last 30 minutes or so. So I really appreciate it. And we're going to be doing more of these. So look for, I'm going to try and actually next reach out to Gary from Castle Customs. But I'm going to try to get some other influencers on here and see if we can kind of do this and talk about Foxtoberfest. I'm really excited about it. I want to spread the word as much as possible so we can get to 1,000 cars. So Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. And yeah, we'll definitely get some beer when you get down here in North Carolina.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Cheers.